welcome back to my channel. What's next, Mel? My name is Melanie. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're not, welcome back to my second video. I had asked on Instagram what you guys wanted next, and actually, funny enough, like a lot of people voted for this, and I was already gonna like record this video, so I'm kind of glad that like everyone is on the same alignment of what they want to hear and what I wanted to talk about, which is moving across country. Moving across country, crazy, just a crazy experience. I guess I can tell you guys like a little bit of my backstory of moving across country from the East Coast to the West Coast, and then just kind of like honestly, like, so basically I moved from New York to LA, and moved from New York to LA, completely opposites. I don't even like know what to say other than complete opposites. But what I will say too is my experience has been amazing. I think like definitely like this was needed. Like I had to like learn like lessons, and it's kind of like not my first time. Well, this is my first time moving from the East Coast to the West Coast, but it's not my first time moving from a different state. So I think that like also helped me be prepared for like what to do. I think the only difference this time around was that I moved into like my own place. Like I don't have any roommates or anything, so like that helped tremendously. But it was also too like a little bit different because I was used to like living with people. But yeah, let me just like jump right in. So I guess like backstory of I was born and raised in Miami, and I moved to New York from Miami after college. I went to school in Orlando, so then I came home for like literally the summer, just 3 months, and then I just was like, okay, time to like move. I knew I didn't want to stay in Florida. Like, I don't know what it is. I think it's a spiritual thing that I just like don't relate, or like my spirit just doesn't feel comfortable in Florida. So I moved to New York. It wasn't smooth and easy, honestly. I tell people like, honest to God, like I literally moved to New York with $1,100, no job, no like permanent place to live. So it definitely was rough the first couple of months. But then I did find a place, and I found a job, and then yeah, like I lived in New York for like 7 years, all the way through like the pandemic, and then 2021 happened. Yes, all the way through the pandemic. I then came to LA during the pandemic with a friend to like visit for a couple of weeks. Had a great time. We like explored like LA. We went to San Francisco. We'll never do that 6-hour drive again, just because like it was so long. I definitely will, and I think going forward I've been doing is like 45-minute flights to San Francisco, because that was just crazy. But anyway, then I was like, I went back home. I was thinking about it. I'm like kind of over. Let me not say this, because like I was like over New York. I think it's just like being in the height of the pandemic in New York was just like, it was a lot, like emotionally, physically, like mentally, like it was just a lot. So I think I was just like kind of over it. Like New York just like didn't feel the same. I was just kind of like, I wanted something like different and new, and I was like, okay, I really enjoyed like California, and I've always wanted to like live in California and live in LA. Like I always like, I don't know, I just always was like, I just want to like see what it's like. And also too, like I've met people that were like just like off the bat like, oh my god, like I can see you like living in LA, like, or like, are you from LA? And I was like, no. So then I was just like, whatever, like let's just see what happens. So like I ended up like maybe 3 months later, I went back to California for like, honestly, like I think 3 or 4 days, maybe even less than, like honestly probably 2 to 3 days, I can't remember, but it really was a short period of time, to like find an apartment. If I was like, if I find an apartment, then I'm gonna move. Because like when we came to visit the first time, we did look at an apartment, and it was in Van Nuys, and I was like, no, it was giving a no. So I was kind of like a little disappointed, because like I wanted to live in the Valley, and I didn't really know, like obviously again, like I don't know much about LA at the time, so like I didn't know what else like was considered part of the Valley. So like when I went home, like I started like researching more and like looking at other places. So then like I found a couple, like I made a whole list, and so like I came back by myself, and I ended up finding like a couple of places. And also too, like don't forget, like during the pandemic, like all like the apartments and renters were like bringing down like the rent because of like the pandemic. So like I was also trying to like get on top of that. So then I ended up finding a place that I really liked, and like just the area and things like that in the Valley. So I ended up moving in October. So I signed all that stuff, like did all that electronically, and then like packed my suitcases, put like some of my stuff in storage, and literally came to LA with just, honestly, like I think I came to LA with 3 or 4, I think three suitcases, might have been 4 honestly, but 3 suitcases. I rented a car from the airport to my place, and literally that was it. And I just like started, also came with no job but with more money. So like that was like helped me out a little bit better this time around, especially because I was like on my own. Like literally my apartment was empty. I slept on an air mattress for the first, honestly I think it was only 1 day, might have been 2. And then like had my bed delivered, and yeah, I just went to IKEA, got furniture for my living room, dining room, and I was like, all right, let's see what happens in this first year. So I found a job literally a month after starting. I mean, after like moving here, like I came in October and I started a job in like November 3rd, November 5th or something like that. So then I started that job, because I originally came, and which I'm still, obviously, because I'm doing this video right now, of wanting to do my blog and really like focus on that. So that's why I came without a job, because I was like kind of like, okay, I'm really gonna focus on that. But then like just the pandemic and just like kind of like mentally, I just felt like not secure with doing that at the moment. And just like obviously financing starting to dwindle, because I'm like buying everything new. Like I didn't really like I shipped other things from New York here, but it wasn't like furniture. So it's like I had to buy all like new furniture and stuff. Then obviously like now I'm paying rent by myself. Like I don't have roommates, so it's not like, you know, we're splitting 4,000 3-4 ways. Like I'm paying the rent by myself. And then I had to get a car. If you move to LA, you have to get a car. Like, do not let anyone else tell you otherwise. Get a car. So it was also another thing I got in like literally a month. Like I had to get that, literally I got that the day before I started my new job. That was also like a whole process, because I've never done that before. Because obviously when I moved from Miami to New York, I didn't need a car, and at the time that I did move from Miami to New York, I literally had just graduated college. So like obviously my parents like had got a car for me in college and stuff like that. So I never paid for it. I never like did the whole experience of like getting a car and like all of that stuff. So doing that, ladies, as much as I am independent female and like to do things on my own and like show, because I think that also is like I'm an only child, so like it gives me also like a little bit of pride and like proud moments for myself of being like, oh my god, like look at me just doing something by myself without like a man and stuff like that. That getting a car next time, like I need to have like I need to be in a relationship, or I need to fly home to Miami and like go with my parents and my dad, because I was annoyed. I was so annoyed. Because it's just so long, so tedious, and it was just like, because I did it for a week, like I was like going to different like, you know, car dealerships, whatever. And I kind of knew what car I kind of wanted, but I was like also like, you know, let's be practical. We just moved. We can't get fancy. But I did end up getting like a Lexus, which I love. Not the Lexus that I wanted, but still fine. Like I love my car. Like it's amazing. And I was able also to like negotiate a little bit like down, because it was like towards the end of the year, and they like try to get rid of like all the cars from that year before like the new year starts. So like I kind of like got a really good deal. But still, it was a pain, and I was like, never again. Like I have to have a man with me next time I do this, because it was a no. Because I also felt like maybe I could have got even a better deal if I had a man to like negotiate. And also because like there was things I just didn't know, like, you know, car lingo, and I was like, what the hell is he talking about? And also too, like I feel like I kind of a little bit got not gypped, but there was definitely something added on to like my like car payments that I'm like, that's not what I thought it was, and now I'm here sitting here paying for it. So, but it's fine. But anyway, so yeah, so I started a new job. That again is like a whole nother video of just like toxic work environments that I definitely have to do. And like I feel like I need to get more people, because like I know everyone has worked in a toxic work environment. So job, and it was going good for like a while in the beginning. I was like, okay, cool, this is cute. And then like just like I really started to realize like LA is way more expensive. I believe LA is way more expensive than New York. Just because again, like I had to get a car, like I had to pay for gas, inflation started, everything started going up, and I was just like, whoa, like, you know, just like calculating all these things. I'm like, oh my god, in New York I would have never paid for a car, I would never pay for car insurance, like I would never pay for gas, like I would have so much extra money, and just like life was happening. But honestly, like I am grateful that I did move cross country, because like now been here for 2 years now. Like year one was a little rough, but it wasn't like as rough. Year two was definitely like on a whole nother level. Just because again, like I was still like learning everything about LA, like just really like figuring out things of, you know, where to go, like people, how LA operates. Like in New York, I felt like I got it so quick, and maybe because like I was from the East Coast, so like it kind of like worked out. But like, you know, getting used to like the time zone difference, and just like, oh gosh, like I mean, you know, going into like the LA versus New York, like LA, like just, you know, people move slow, and I'm just like, can we, like, you know, like I'm from New York, like let's move. And just like also too, you know, I'm gonna say it, I don't know, I really don't care what people think, but like LA people are shady, and LA people also have an issue, like they like to like beat around the bush of like when it comes to like difficult conversations, or like really say their true feelings. Like I'll like say, like even like at the like toxic work environment and job that I was at, like they just were so like, I said no to something that they wanted to do, and they were like, oh my god, like you're so mean, you're so rude. And I'm like, because I said no to something that didn't make any sense to do, and I just was like, I'm not doing that. And but it's like I didn't find that out until like a couple weeks later, because I like spoke up and was like, okay, like you guys are weird and I'm over it, and just like you guys are just like full of shit. And it's just like those are the things that kind of like rub me the wrong way about LA and like LA people, because it's just like, you know, in New York, stand on all 10. Like, if you feel some type of way, say it. And like, let's move on. Let's talk it out. And like, either we're gonna like each other or we're not. Like, that's that. So like, that's my thing about LA that's kind of like annoying. Like, still like, I'm learning and trying to like also to like figure out LA people are sensitive. Sensitive, sensitive, sensitive. Which is crazy because like they're shady, but it's like they're sensitive of just like, again, if you speak up for yourself or like say something or like call them out, it's like, oh my god, like start crying and just like the dramatics, and it's just like, it's too much. It's too much. And I like, that's one thing I'm kind of like over. What else? I mean, the good about LA, of course, like there's definitely like pros. I mean, honestly, like I love living in the valley. It's peaceful, especially where I live. Like it's kind of like family oriented. And I just feel like I'm in my own little bubble in my like area that I'm in. And I'm also close to different things. Which I like. Like I can still like walk to different things, like just like walking to the grocery store, walking to the bank, just like things I used to do in New York, just like walking to things, which I do miss. Cause like, oh my gosh, that's one thing about LA people. If they like, if they hear you be like, oh yeah, like I walked like to the store, they like, oh my god, you walked to the store. I'm like, yeah, like again, inflation, these gas prices, they keep going up and down, up and down. Like I need to save gas. That's number one. Bringing me to the biggest con of LA. LA traffic. You know, I've heard stories, I've heard things, and I guess it's not really until you experience that you really are like, yo, what the fuck? Yeah, horrible. LA traffic is ridiculous. I live, for my current job right now, I live 15 to 18 miles away, so not too far. So like that should really, on a day of like no traffic, nothing going on, because I'm taking all the highways, and literally when I get off the exit, it's literally like five, not honestly like 5 minutes away from the exit. Um, it's supposed to take me 25 minutes. In LA traffic, especially on a Tuesday morning, getting to work at 9 a.m. when everybody's going to work because they do their like work from home days on Mondays and Fridays. So they go into office like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It takes me an hour and 30 minutes to get to work. I have to leave my house at 7:30 to make sure I get to work on time at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. Ridiculous. I am like so like just don't even know what to say, because I'm just like, why? And it's like me taking the same route. I'm not going anywhere different. I'm taking the same highways. I'm taking the exact same way from my house to work, and it's crazy. So yeah, LA traffic is like the worst. It takes forever to get places. Like, and also like I'm the type of person like I like to leave like exactly like, if it's supposed to like take me 30 minutes, like I'm gonna leave 30 minutes. But I really like, I'm like now in year 2 learning I can't do that. And I'm trying, but sometimes it's still like, I'm like, oh my god, I'm just gonna leave 30 minutes, and like it takes me 45 minutes to an hour to get there. So yeah, if you ask me out to go to dinner and do things, please tell me at least 30 minutes prior to the time that you want me to get there, because there's traffic and just the way I like function, it's crazy. What else? LA pros, LA pros. I mean, I definitely met people obviously that are not shady. But it's crazy also too, which I can't say, but most of the people that I met that aren't shady are also not LA natives. So I don't know. But there's definitely some people that are LA natives that I met that aren't shady. Um, what else? What else? What else about LA? LA dating, ladies, just bring your man from another place. Because I don't know. It's just, oh gosh, it's interesting. Like I get confused because I'm used to something different from dating in New York. Like New York men are, I don't want to say more aware, but I think are just more conscious that you're like a woman and like things are going on in the world. I don't know. Like I just feel like they're not oblivious to, like what's going on, because it's just like I feel like here, like in New York, like New York men will, get you an Uber, or will like drop you home, or like pick you up from your house, like if you guys are going out on a date. Will pay for things, and just also too, like I don't know, you just feel more secure with a New York man. Just like the way, I don't know, the way they walk, the confidence level that they have. I don't know. Here, I feel like LA men are a little oblivious. Like, yes, I get it. We all have cars, so we all like drive, but like it's still like I think you should still ask me, like, hey, like, do you want me to pick you up, or like, do you want me to get you an Uber? Like, just I think just being conscious of those things. And I think also too, like, again, like New York men, and I guess again it's a little bit different because like in New York, like obviously we mostly like take the subway and stuff like that, but like still just like a New York man making sure like you got to the train okay, or making sure you got to the Uber okay, or like whatever, making sure you got into the house okay. Like I just feel like LA men are not like that. Like, and maybe it's just the LA men that I've gone on a couple of dates with. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But yeah, I just think they're just not as conscious, and again, sensitive. But you know, that's their business. We'll see. We'll continue to see what happens on year 3 in this journey. But like honestly, like I love New York, like, and I've always said that. And I think like when people ask me like, oh, will you move back to New York? I mean, it depends on like many different things. Again, like I kind of want to give LA time, and really because I'm still like learning like where things are, where like the hidden little spots are, what's popping, what's not, like still meeting different people. Like I think New York always has a place in my heart, but I think also too when I think of like as I'm getting older, and I love me the seasons, but it's just like I always say this, like I think I've said this from when I even like first moved to New York, is like when I do have a family and have kids, like I just don't see myself pushing a stroller in the snow. Like it's just like that's just, it's not giving. And I think like also too, like now that I own my car and stuff like that, I'm kind of like, when I get back on like doing the train and stuff like that, like I don't know, because also I wouldn't want to pay. Like it's just like you really don't need a car in the city, like you just don't need it. So it's just like, why would I pay for a car if I know I'm not gonna end up using it? So I don't know. So, but what I will say too is like I think moving cross country, I think you should do it. I think especially if you need to leave your hometown. That's one thing I always tell people. You need to leave at least once, and you need to see what else is out there. You need to like live in a different place, meet different people, see what it's like in different cities, because like that's one thing like I'm so happy that I've done and like experienced. And I feel like it's also given me like different like world views, like point of view, like culture views, like because I've met so many different people from so many different places. And I feel like if I stayed at home in my hometown, I would mentally not be okay. For the people that do, I really honestly don't know how you mentally are sane, because I couldn't be. I don't know. But outside of that, I'm trying to think of anything else like moving out of the country. I mean, tips for sure, save your money. Like, I definitely feel like if you are 100% sure you want to move, definitely once you make that decision, like save as much money as you want. Like what I did is like save as much money as I would like could, and I also like cleared like my credit cards. Like I have my credit cards in a good place, like just, you know, again, just to help with like, it was just like little things that I didn't like think of that would like add up, that like obviously I needed for my apartment, or just like getting it like started, you know, turning on like the utilities and like renters insurance. Like I just like, not oblivious, but it's just like I didn't realize how much that stuff like adds up, especially when you're like getting your place and like having to like turn all those things on. Especially here in like LA with the earthquakes and like all of that stuff. I think also too, I'm trying to think of anything else. Um, I mean, also too, like take your time and looking for like a place. Like I definitely, I mean, like I said, I did find my place in a couple of days, but also I was researching prior, like for a couple of weeks of like online, and then going to like physically see the places. I think definitely need to physically come to see the places, and I'm glad I did, because there was like one place that was like really cheap, and I was like, oh, like cute from the pictures. I went there and was disgusted that people would think I would live here. I was just like, ugh, the ghetto. Like it was giving Nene Leaks, ugh, the ghetto. And I was just like, absolutely not. Which was so crazy because it was in such a, like a nice place, and like it's close to like a really like a mall and like all these things, and it was just, it was not it. It was not cute. Um and I mean, honestly, too, I think having a really good support system, I think that's also, too, what's always helped me when I moved from, you know, Miami to New York to LA, is like really having like supportive, like family and friends, like especially like my friends that I, you know, from my home, from hometown and from New York, like especially when I moved here to LA, like still talk to them to this day. And I think just like really having people that like, you know, when I do come home, they're gonna come like open arms, and just been through with the transition, because you do really go through like a transitional phase of just trying to figure out like your place in this like new city, and whether you do like start like a new job, or like, you know, meeting new people. I will say that too, I did do that. I went like on an Eventbrite and like found this like girls like picnic thing that was like at a park that was like 15 minutes away from my house when I first like came to LA. And like I went there and met a couple of people. So I think it's like also doing that, doing things like, you know, and I also do, it's weird here in LA, but I don't care, because in New York we do it all the time, like solo dates. Like I honestly like have no problem of going out to like get a drink by myself, or like do things like activities that I like to do. Like I've gone to like at least already two concerts in LA. Like I love some Jhené Aiko. I was not gonna miss that. And I went to go see Sid from the internet. Like I was like, I'm not gonna miss these concerts just because like I don't know anyone or whatever. And I went to them and like I met people and like just like different things like that. I think just definitely don't stop yourself because you don't know anybody from going out, because that's how you can also meet people. I think also another LA pro slash tip, definitely go on the hikes. I definitely will say LA people are into fitness and healthy lifestyle, which is good because that helped me get back into that. So it's like definitely I am in the gym. I am always like, ooh, what's the next healthy thing? Um, Erewhon is an LA like organic grocery store. The hype is real. It is like literally, I'm so glad I don't live near an Erewhon, because I used to work near one and I was in there all the time. The Erewhon hot food, amazing, so good. Erewhon smoothies, made top tier. So definitely make sure you have your pockets ready. And yeah, I think that's also too, like I think you definitely can't come here with not a low budget, but you need to come here that you are going to spend money. Like the tax here is crazy. Um, it's just it's a money grabber. And yeah, I mean, also too, like, pros of New York. If you've never moved to New York, um, don't have to pay for a car insurance, or gas because you'll take the train. Easy, simple. I don't know what it is now, but I used to have the unlimited monthly metro, and it was like 132. Granted, that was like 2 years ago, and I know that the fare, the MTA went up on the fare. I think it's like 290 now, per ride. So, because it was 275 before I left. So definitely, I don't know how much the monthly is. What else? New York. I mean, you'll meet some real people, like some real genuine folks. Which I'm still friends with to today, which I love. And I mean, I don't know, it's like also too, it's so easy in New York to like just like find new spots and like go to different places because you're walking. What else? I mean, you get all the seasons in New York, which I love. I miss my like fur jackets and my winter coats and my winter like wardrobe for sure. But I mean, that's also too what I do like here in LA is that, like, it's October, we're going into November, it's still gonna be like 80 degrees, and I can still like sit at the pool in my apartment complex and like read my book. So again, pros and cons. But yeah, I mean, if you guys like have any questions or like comments, definitely put those comments down below. If you have any questions, put them down below about like moving across country or like living in New York, living in LA. Like I think again, like it's a great experience, and I'm so excited that I did it. And on that note, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right now. Hit it. And make sure that you follow me on What's Next Smell, on Instagram, and my personal page, which is on my What's Next Smell Instagram. And we'll talk soon.